Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then caribou. My name is Uba and today's video is going to be about the cost of living here in Kenya, Nairobi. So I've gotten a lot of DMs from people who are planning on moving here that just want to know a little bit about expenses and outgoings. So I thought it would be great to make a video explaining to you guys how expensive Kenya can actually get sometimes. I've lived in now for 9 months, coming up to a year. I can't believe it. Time really does fly. Before I start, I want you guys to know and take into account that everyone's lifestyle, living standards and budget is going to be different. So this is based on my experience and what I spend in a month here in Kenya. Even for me, it does differ month to month, depending on whether I'm traveling that month or whether I make a big purchase, but essentially the basics do always remain the same, i.e. utilities, rent and things like that. My biggest cost every single month definitely is rent. So when I first moved to Kenya, I was staying in the Kilimani, Kileshwa area. I had an unfurnished 2-bedroom apartment and I was paying 70,000 Kenyan shilling. Now I live in the Westlands area and I also have an unfurnished 2-bedroom apartment, but I'm paying 160,000 Kenyan shilling a month. So I am paying more than double than what I used to pay. Don't get me wrong, my old apartment had a really decent gym, a decent pool, and it was in a safe location. However, this apartment has a way better equipped gym. I have a beautiful pool overlooking the whole of Westlands. I've got a rooftop terrace, I've got a game room, which I kind of never use. But the security here is 10 times better than at my old place. So essentially you can find very affordable apartments here as well as very expensive apartments. There's definitely a lot of different factors that affect pricing. The biggest one being location. Whether you have an unfurnished or furnished apartment, the size of the apartment, so whether you have a studio, a 2-bedroom or a 4-bedroom apartment, as well as the available amenities at the apartment, and which floor you're on also affects the pricing. You can definitely find whatever it is that you're looking for within your budget. I do recommend that you find a legit agency to work with to find your perfect home. So my utilities are not included in my rent. I don't pay for gas anymore because I have an electric stove now. However, at my old apartment, I think I bought a gas tank, a 6 kg or a 12 kg gas tank. I don't remember exactly how much it costs, but I think it's between 1,500 to 2,000. But the good thing about these tanks is they last you a very long time. So for my electricity, I pay 5,000 Kenyan shilling a month, and for my water, I pay 600 Kenyan shilling a month. For Wi-Fi, I'm with the provider Zuku. They're not the best reliable providers. However, Safaricom doesn't work on my floor, so I had to go with Zuku. And I pay 2,799 a month. Which brings me on to my phone bill. I don't really buy a lot of airtime. At the most, I'll probably spend between 200 to 300 Kenyan shilling a month. However, I do spend quite a lot on data. I went through my data usage and I can easily go through 54 GB in a month, and that's about 5,000 Kenyan shillings. So next I want to talk about transport. I can honestly say that transportation here in Kenya is fairly cheap. So they have different forms of transportation. They've got bodas, matatus and different taxi services. I don't really use matatus. I've only used it once and I think it was about 50 Kenyan shilling for a trip. Usually I just make use of Bolt and Uber and bodas for short trips. In the month of August, I spent 8,700 on transportation. And in the month of July, I spent 11,680 for transportation. So on average, I spend about 10,000 Kenyan shilling on transport, which is super affordable if you think about it. So my next expense might not be relevant to some people, but I go to the gym and Pilates. So my gym membership is 45,000 Kenyan shilling, and it's for a period of 3 months, but you do pay up front. So essentially it's about 15,000 Kenyan shilling a month. And for my Pilates, I go 3 times a week and I pay 26,000 a month, and that's for a package of 12 sessions. Next, I want to talk about food. I'm going to start with groceries first because the way I eat out, you would think I have no food at home. I usually buy my fruit and veg at the local market and I spend about 4,000 Kenyan shilling a month. And for the rest of my food shopping, as well as like little house items, I go to Carrefour. So in the month of August, I spent 53,351, and in the month of July, I spent 17,564. So I did spend nearly triple in August, but I think it's because I was eating out more in July than in August. This month I haven't really eaten out that much. I'm a big foodie. I love exploring new restaurants, new cafes. Eating out can honestly be very expensive, but also very cheap. For example, my local restaurant that I go to buy my dengu, I don't spend more than 300 Kenyan shilling, and that's for my dengu, my 2 chapatis, and a drink. But then at the same time, you can find a fine dining restaurant and easily spend up to 20,000 on a meal for 2. I don't know exactly how to calculate how much I've spent on eating out because I am not going through my M-Pesa to figure that out. But I'm going to assume and say that it's between 30 to 40,000 Kenyan shilling a month. And that's not every month. So like I said, in the month of August, I've been cooking at home quite a lot. So obviously it's going to be a lot less. And the same goes for going out. I do go out quite a lot. So on a night out, on average, I think I spend between 3,000 to 6,000. So next I'm going to talk about self-care expenses. I don't typically get my hair done or my nails done too often. But when I do get braids or whatever, that can cost me between 2,000 to 3,000 Kenyan shilling. Getting your nails done and a pedicure can come up to 6,000 Kenyan shilling. And getting a massage typically goes for 3,000 Kenyan shilling. But it all obviously depends on where you go. Lastly, I want to talk about shopping. I don't really think I shop a lot. If I do, it's mainly for home items. The last time I shopped for myself was probably last month when I went to Mango. I bought these trousers and a bucket hat, and that cost me 7,000 Kenyan shilling. So it can get a little pricey. But I'm not going to add any of the shopping to my total. So in the month of July, I spent a total of 555,026 Kenyan shilling. And in the month of August, I spent a total of 438,968 Kenyan shilling. So on average, I spent about 496,997 Kenyan shilling a month here in Nairobi. So I do think I can budget a little bit better. That one area where I do think I needlessly spend a little excessively would be food. I mean, they do say that eating out is a lot cheaper than buying groceries, which I do agree with, because have you seen the prices of cheese lately? It's expensive. But anyways guys, that brings me to the end of the video. I hope this video has been super informative for those that are planning on moving here. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more videos.